I'm already a millionaire in my mind. I don't see it yet, but I believe it now. In the same way a seed is called by its finished form, I'm accepting my divine inheritance as a child of God. I'm meant to have life and have it more abundantly. My treasure on earth shall correspond directly to the treasure in the heaven of my mind. Abundance is my birthright. Ashe, amen, and so it is. My name is Julian Gordon, and I'm author of Rich and Righteous: Spiritual Secrets to Mastering Money, Manifestation, and Your Mind. After becoming a multimillionaire through real estate investing, I was moved by God at the beginning of the pandemic to share my money mindset that allowed me to quit my job in January of 2009 at the bottom of the last recession and achieve full financial freedom. I own my mental real estate before I own any physical real estate. This book is like some of your favorites: Rich Dad, Poor Dad, As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich, and the Bible all in one. But the divine downloads and thoughts that are in here are 100% original and came for a 6-month period at the beginning of the pandemic. This book is normally $100 on Amazon if you went there right now, but I want to give you access to it for free by inviting you to our next reading group. Yes, the reading group is 100% free. Every weekday for 100 days straight, I'll be reading and discussing the 10 money commandments in the book that make money come to you in your life easily, more frequently, and abundantly. And it will take about 30 to 45 minutes as we read 3 to 5 pages per day until we finish the book and reprogram your mind around money. Why 100 days? Well, if you are 30 years old, you've lived for 10,950 days. And we have to deprogram and reprogram the negative, scarcity-based money mindset society has taught you. And I believe I can do that in just 1% of the time in about 100 days. I'm done with shelf help. You know, when you buy a book to change your life, but you never read it, it just sits on your bookshelf and collects a whole bunch of dust. We off that. When is the last time you had an author actually read their book to you out loud because they cared about you getting the information in your soul? I'm not just here to get this book in your hands. More importantly, I want to get it in your head and your heart, because that's where the real transformation occurs, in the conscious and the subconscious mind. As scripture says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is not the type of book that you just read once. To renew the subconscious mind requires repetition over and over and over. So if you joined us last time, I encourage you to join us again. I myself have read this book over 10 times already. So click the link to join our next reading group, and when you sign up, I'm going to give you the first 2 chapters of the book for absolutely free on what is money and abundance is your birthright, so that you can start your journey to a more abundant life today.
What's good, everybody? This is your boy Thavian coming at you with another day of the reading of the Rich and Righteous. We're on day 35. Day 35. Let's go, let's go, let's go. If you're new, this is the 100-day challenge of the reading of the Rich and Righteous. We have been reading this book for 34 days now, and now we're on day 35. This is all about reprogramming our minds to attract more money. But if you are a return reader, you have come to learn that it is more than that. You have learned a lot about yourself besides trying to reprogram your mind to attract more money. Today, we are still continuing on with the 6 forms of capital. We're still in money commandment number 7, and we are still continuing with our 6 forms of capital. We completed number 1, which was personal capital. We completed number 2, which was intellectual capital. And today we're starting out with number 3, which is going to be social capital. Don't forget, at the end of the reading, make sure you give me those takeaways. I want to know what you got out of the reading, and other people want to know what you got out of the reading as well. Leave those takeaways in the comment section of the YouTube post, and we'll be good to go. Without further ado, man, we want to go ahead and get started. Let Julian kick things off for us. The 6 forms of capital is kind of lengthy, so we'll see if we can get through 1 or 2 of these today and then finish the rest tomorrow. Other than that, man, let's get started, man. Day 35, the reading of the Rich and Righteous. Let's go.
Now we're going to go into social capital, which is who you know and who knows you. It's not just who you know, but it's also who knows you, right? How many people can you call who are where you want to be and can mentor you? How many people can you call who are where you want to be and can mentor you? Go ahead and type that number in chat. Like, they are living the life that you envision, that you desire, that you want. We're not trying to copy them, right? But are you close to anybody who has what you desire? Who can you call on when you need professional or personal advice? How many friends can you call on if you needed help moving tomorrow? How many people's couches could you sleep on for a month if you needed to? If you were trying to raise $100,000 for a cause or campaign you cared about, who could you call on to help you raise it? And who could you call on to donate? Right? These are real questions. So it's one thing to have a lot of friends and a lot of contacts, but can you call on these people in critical moments? That's how you really know the strength of a relationship. Most friendships are based off of convenience, right? But you don't really know a true friendship until it's inconvenient. Oh man, you need me to help you move tomorrow? All right, I'm there, right? You really don't know a true friendship until something inconvenient happens and you see who shows up and who doesn't. Your social capital has very little to do with how many friends you have on social media. It's all about who is committed to your personal and professional growth and vice versa. Your social capital can consist of your friends, but all relationships aren't created equal. All relationships aren't created equal. Nehemiah Davis said, if you're the smartest person in your circle, it's not actually a circle, it's a cage. It's a cage. Higher capital relationships include mentors, seasoned professionals, professors, counselors, coaches, advisors, and peers committed to your greatness, which I call your successful friends. You know, I had to stop. I used to call everybody friend, right? Because that just seems to be like this general category, especially when you had to befriend people on Facebook. You just started calling everybody a friend, but everybody ain't really a friend, family. Okay, so you have acquaintances, you have friends, you have your inner circle, you have your advisors. There's levels to this, right? And then you have your family, which is your brothers and sisters. Then you got your actual family. So all friends are not created equal, okay? So these type of higher capital relationships, like I said, mentors, seasoned professionals, professors, counselors, coaches, advisors, and peers committed to your greatness. These are what we call successful friends, right? You have social friends and you have successful friends. Connections and capitals are not one and the same. Connections, right, and capital are not one and the same. Facebook allows you to have 5,000 friends or social connections, but those are likely weak connections. Social capital means that you can leverage those relationships and their capital for a vision specific to a vision and specific goal that you have. So if you have all these quote unquote friends, but you can't leverage any of their capital or that capital towards that goal, then it's not really valuable to you. It's only valuable on Friday night and Saturday night when it's time to go out. Okay. So we want to focus on higher level relationships with people. All right. Networks can grow in many directions: up, down, across, and out. Your networks across is made up of your quote unquote friends. That's the easiest network to build because these are your peers. You may have grown up together or you went to school with each other and are at similar stages of life, so it's easier to relate to people across. Networking down means connecting with people who are younger than you, such as your children, siblings, their friends, and mentees. They can keep you young and expose you to trends and things you were too old to catch. Networking out involves getting out of your natural environment or comfort zone and actively seeking to meet people who you might not otherwise meet. So it means going to that conference, even though you know you'll only be the only Black woman at that conference, and being open and meeting people, going to that event that interests you, but you're going alone. There's nobody going with you. And so you're going to be forced to meet people. This could mean joining in a national organization or going to their national convention where you meet people with similar interests from all over the country or world. This could also mean finding local events or programs where you likely won't know anybody yet. Yet is the key word, right? So this is networking out, not just being confined by a distance or, oh, my circle's small, this and that. That's cool, right? Yes, your inner circle should be tight, but you don't want to be limited just by 3 people or 4 people. We always want to be expanding our perspective. Networking up is perhaps the most powerful form of networking you can do. Networking up means building relationships with mentors, alumni, community leaders, business leaders, and people who are where you want to be or know what you want to know. Okay? One relationship upward, listen to this. One relationship upward could be equivalent to the value of 20 relationships across. One relationship upward could be equivalent to the value of 20 relationships across. Your friends can get you to the door you're trying to get into, but wouldn't you rather know the person who has the key or who's on the other side of the door and can actually open it for you? What's more valuable, the person who can get you to the door or the person who's actually on the other side of the door and who has the key? Okay, this is the power of networking up. These are the kinds of people who will write you letters of recommendation, make personal calls to potential employers or investors, and expose you to unique opportunities that end up on their desk. To build these kinds of relationships, you must have the middle seat mentality. Can I get a window seat next to me? Some of y'all got that Eric if I do window seat mentality. I need you to have the middle seat mentality. All right, everybody type that. Middle seat mentality. I'm going to explain to you what it is. Most people avoid the middle seat on an airplane because they feel squished between the person in the window seat and the aisle seat. But the benefit of the middle seat is what, y'all? Is that you easily, it allows you to easily meet two people, right? Whereas the other seats only put you in position to meet one person. If I'm in the window seat, I'm likely only going to connect with the person who I might not connect with anybody, right? I might just fall asleep on the window, or I can talk to this person. If I'm in the aisle seat, the only person I have access to is this person. Usually I'm not talking across the aisle, right? But if I'm in the middle seat, I now have access to these two people. Now, I'm not saying go buy the middle seat on an airplane, right? I'm not saying that. It's a mentality. It's about positioning yourself to be in contact with the most people possible. Okay, I'm not saying that you need to take the middle seat. I actually encourage you to sometime, but it's really about your positioning wherever you are. You're at an event. What would the middle seat be? Where can I go? Don't just go sit at the table with two people. Sit at the table with 8 people, right? And get into that conversation, right? This is the middle seat mentality. So the benefit of the middle seat is it allows you to easily meet two people, whereas the other seats only put you in position to meet one person. The middle seat mentality means that you always seek to put yourself in a position to meet the most people wherever you are, whether you're on an airplane, at a party, or at a networking event. Now, I'll add that it's not always about the most people, because if you're really strong at networking, you'll actually know who's going to be at the event, and you'll actually have targets. You'll actually have targets, and you'll really be putting yourself in position to meet specific people. Oh man, I know that person is invested in companies similar to mine, and the event is going to have 1,000 people, but I'm really just trying to get in contact with that person, and that person. I'm really trying to meet 3 people here, and I'm going to do whatever. Even just going to the event is putting me in closer proximity position. But now, once I get there, I have to identify with them, and then I have to find situations or ways to put myself in position to be near them. Is this making sense? That's even a higher level of networking. Right now, I'm just teaching you the middle seat mentality, right? I just want you to meet new people and get access to new perspectives, okay? It is easy for us to recreate our high school social scene and sit at the same table and eat with the same people in the cafeteria every day. But doing so cuts us off from meeting other amazing people who are less than a hello away from us. Literally, there's just a hi. And once you say hi, the conversation just unfolds, even if it feels awkward for the first minute. But literally, there are people who have the power to change the financial trajectory of your life who are literally just a hello away. Social capital is powerful because, watch this, with each person in your network who's really committed to you, you gain access to their personal capital, which is how well they know themselves, their gifts, talents, strengths, and skills. You gain access to their intellectual capital, what they know. You also gain access to their social capital, who they know and who knows them. And sometimes you even gain access to their financial capital. This is why they say your network is your net worth. So when I meet one person, I'm getting access to all of who they are based on the level of trust in that relationship and the depth of that relationship. That's why it's really, really powerful to network. Okay. But usually not networking at networking events, because everybody's trying to get something for nothing in those kind of environments. By network, I want you to change your mindset is this, that I'm seeking to meet new people. And in reality, you actually don't know who the right person is to meet sometimes, right? You may judge based on appearances and this and that, but you never know who could be a major contributor to your life vision. So that requires you to stay open and not judge people or books by their cover. All right. So let's get into financial capital, or let's just start that really quickly. Actually, yeah, because then we have human capital and physical capital. Actually, what time are we? Yes, let's get into financial capital a little bit. All right. Number 4, financial capital. Financial capital, this is an interesting definition, right? But listen very carefully. It's who knows that you know what you know. See, financial capital is not just money. It is who knows that you know what you know. Let me start to break it down for you. Of course, your financial capital includes your own assets, such as your checking account, savings account, retirement accounts, stocks, and real estate. But the wealth you want isn't in your possession yet. The wealth you want isn't in your possession yet. Someone else has it. Okay? Someone else has it. So I want you to look at financial capital in a different way. Financial capital is who knows that you know what you know. I'm going to repeat that. It's who knows that I know what I know. Your financial capital grows at the intersection of your intellectual and your social capital. Your intellectual capital, right, is what you know. Your social capital is who you know and who knows you. And the more people that know that you know something that is valuable to them, guess what's going to happen? The more financial capital that will flow your way. Okay? When the right people know that you know a lot about a subject or can execute a skill that solves a problem they have, that's when financial opportunities flow. The reason I get paid for what I do today is because the right people, my social capital in real life and on social media, know that I know a lot about mastering money, manifestation, and multifamily real estate, my intellectual capital. And when those two things intersect, financial opportunities emerge. Okay? Financial opportunities emerge. Making money is not complex. It's not complex. Master something and market it. Just type that. Master something and market it. 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 It's that simple. Like, I know you're looking for some secret formula, but it's that simple. Master something and market it. Okay? Many people put their head in the sand and try to get good at a subject or skill, but then they don't do the personal branding work necessary to let people know that they have mastered that certain skill or subject that is valuable to them. All right. So, of course, if you are a career professional, if you have a job, the way you do that is primarily through LinkedIn. But another way that you do that, right, is by continuing to interview. In fact, for those of you who have jobs, I encourage you to interview every year, even if you have no intention of leaving. For those of you who have jobs, I encourage you to interview every year, even if you have no intention of leaving, just to keep that skill set sharp and to test how valuable you are in the marketplace. How good am I at communicating the value that I've created where I am and what I've learned along the way? And what can I actually get from somebody outside of the job relationship I have right now, the employment relationship I have right now? You see, in a romantic relationship, that would be considered cheating. In a professional relationship, these corporations ain't loyal. They ain't loyal to you. You have all this loyalty to them, but they are not loyal to you. They'll fire you tomorrow and replace you and not even care. Right? So it is not cheating in an employment context to interview every single year. And when you do that, you may find that, wow, there's an organization that's willing to pay me double what I'm being paid here for the same exact skill sets. But I was so locked into being loyal to this company, right? And how I built my life around that. My kids go to school around the corner, my house is 10 minutes away, etc., that I didn't even expose myself to new possibilities. So all of you who are employees and plan on continuing to be employees, I encourage you as a ritual to interview every year. You may get offers, you can turn them down, but go through the process to keep that skill sharp. Otherwise, you may end up stuck where you are forever. Okay? So Many people put their head in the sand and try to get good at a subject or skill, but then they don't do the personal branding work necessary to let people know that they have mastered that certain skill or subject that is valuable to them. Out of their sight, out of their mind. Out of their mind, out of their money. If you are out of sight, you are out of mind. And if you are out of mind, you are out of their money. Okay? So if the people we are meant to serve don't think about us when the problem we can help them solve arises, then we never get a return of stored energy or money for the 10,000 hours worth of energy we put into mastering that skill or subject. Many folks are waiting to be discovered, hoping that someone sees their talent and jump out at them off of a flat resume, website profile, or telepathically. When we are great at something, sometimes we hide our brilliance because we don't want to be perceived as arrogant or nerdy. Going back to the high school metaphor I shared yesterday. Hiding your nerdiness may have benefited you on the social scene in high school or college so you could fit in. But hiding your brilliance in the real world as an adult will hurt you financially. You want as many people as possible to know how great you are without being boastful, right? You want as many people to know why, not to be boastful, but to bless them. That's why, okay? Don't exaggerate with words from the thesaurus. Allow your results to speak for themselves, right? This is why in the multifamily movement, I lead with my results. I don't lead with Lamborghinis. I don't lead with a mansion. I don't lead with private jets. I don't lead with my marketing on any of that. I don't lead with lifestyle marketing, okay? What do I lead with? I lead with results. I lead with the results that my students have closed on. Over 800 of my students have closed on their first multifamily home, and collectively, we bought $1/3 of $1 billion worth of real estate. I lead with results, right? These are my artifacts and evidence of success. Constantly collecting artifacts, okay? When you see an artifact is powerful because if we just go back to the pyramids, and I know I talked about the pyramids on Monday, we go back to the pyramids. Without those people even being there, without the Egyptians who built those pyramids even being here, what do those pyramids say about them? It says that they are big thinkers, that they are visionaries, that they're long-term thinkers, that they're mathematicians, that they're architects, that they're engineers, right? All of that gets communicated by what? The artifact. The artifact speaks for itself. And so you want to be an archaeologist of your own career and actually be gathering artifacts or creating artifacts that show who you are. So now you don't have to convince somebody of who you are. You just show them the artifact, and then they make decisions based on the artifact that you produce. So constantly collecting artifacts and evidence of your success and share them publicly through LinkedIn, social media, email blasts, press releases, and you will begin to attract more money into your life. Imagine that you are looking for a new job opportunity to create more financial capital in your life. The interview process is all about you building a relationship with the hiring manager, interviewers, and the company, and then convincing them that you are the most knowledgeable and skillful at solving the problem the job is meant to address. Anyone who has strong social capital and knows people in their target company has an advantage because referrals are among the top ways people get jobs. Also, those who can demonstrate their intellectual capital through past performance or artifacts and evidence of success will have an advantage in the hiring process because they are showing their value, not just telling people about it, right? So remember in elementary school, you had show and tell day, right? If it was your turn on show and tell day, if you forgot your fire truck in the car and you just got in the front of the class and was like, I forgot my fire truck in the car, but it's about this long and it's red like a cherry and the ladder goes up really, really high, and they would boo you off stage, right? You're supposed to bring the actual toy and actually show and tell, right? So when you go into an interview, don't just go in there with a flat piece of paper and submit your resume. Actually bring artifacts of results that you produced, right? Evidence. I created this product. Here's the product. I launched this beverage. Here's the drink. Try it yourself, right? Here are photos from an event that I planned. Here, look at this. Here is a proposal I did that led to $2 million in a new business line. Here it is. Don't just bring your resume. You want to bring artifacts and evidence of your success to the table, all right? So from an entrepreneurial perspective, is this making sense for those of you who are in careers? Is this making sense? Show, don't tell. Now, from an entrepreneurial perspective, imagine that you found the cure to cancer. Would you hide and hope that those with cancer found you? You just found the cure to cancer. Are you just going to just like sit here now that you found the cure that you know can bless a lot of people? You're just going to sit here and wait for news stations to reach out to you. You're just going to sit here and wait for cancer patients to knock on your door. You're just going to wait for word of mouth. No, you would shout out from the mountaintop so that everyone you could cure could find you. As an entrepreneur, you are the cure to someone's cancer. In addition to physical cancer, people have financial, mental, emotional, social, professional, and spiritual cancers that prevent them from experiencing heaven on earth. I am addressing through this process, I'm addressing your spiritual cancer and a financial cancer through this process. It has been blocking you, right, from actually achieving and living the life of abundance that you deserve. Okay? So cancer is not just the type of cancer that you may have to lose your hair and go through chemotherapy for. I'm not just talking about that kind of cancer. People are dealing with pains and problems in their life, and you are the cure. Oftentimes, other forms of cancers create so much stress and unease in their lives that they manifest as physical cancer in the body or other diseases. You must find a problem you are passionate about solving, create a solution. Everybody type soul under hyphen ution. Everybody type soul, S-O-U-L hyphen U-T-I-O-N. That's what we're trying to create a solution that's not just surface level, but that actually solves it at the cellular level, at the cellular level. We want to get to the root cause. That is a solution. That's the difference between a surface level solution and a solution that gets to the root cause of the problem. Because I could give you the multifamily master plan play. I could teach you the solution, but I know that there's a deeper issue, right? Even when people join, I know that there's a deeper issue that they need to also address just their ideology and their financial philosophy around money. So this is why I pair Rich and Righteous with the multifamily movement, and this is why we have so much fruit. Because I don't just solve it at the surface level, I solve it at the, which is a conscious level, I solve it at the subconscious level as well. Okay? Most financial educators don't do that. So you must find a problem that you are passionate about solving, create a solution, and do whatever it takes to get to all the people you are called to serve. Your wealth will be proportional to the size of the problems you solve for others with your skill mastery, subject mastery, and systems. People are suffering, and they are waiting on you to show up with a solution to their problem. When you think about your financial capital as the intersection of your intellectual and social capital, remember, who knows that you know what you know? This is financial capital. Who knows that you know what you know? It empowers you because you are in full control of how your intellectual capital and your social capital grow. Financial capital comes in the form of cash, contracts, credit, which is access to capital, partnerships, job opportunities, investment opportunities, and entrepreneurial opportunities with equity. The more people who know that you know what you know will surely bring more money your way. Stop hiding your brilliance. More people need to know how brilliant you are, not from a boastful perspective, but from a perspective of being able to bless as many people as possible. All right?
All right, we're going to go ahead and stop there, man. This concludes day 35. Day 35 is officially in the books, still on the 6 forms of capital. We just have completed number 3 and number 4 today. What are your takeaways? 6 forms of capital. We're moving along, man. Day 35. What are your takeaways? 6 forms of capital. We completed number 3 and number 4 today. Financial capital and social capital. One thing about social capital I like, man, for those that are in my investment group, for those that are in a trapper group with stocks, we are each other's social capital. We're not the smartest person in each room. There's some things you know that I don't know. There's some things I know that you don't know. We all are valuable. And if you need to call on me, I'm your social capital. If I can call on you, I would like for you to be my social capital. One of my takeaways about social capital, because I am in several rooms, and he just kind of broke that down and made it plain on how important it is to have that social capital, that real connection, not just family and friends, but that connection that's going to help you grow. I like the fact that he touched on your social capital. Your different lines of social capital will allow you to grow up, down, across, or out. Once again, this concludes day 35. Day 35 is officially in the books. We will continue tomorrow with the rest of the 6 forms of capital. We'll have 2 more left. We'll go ahead and close those out tomorrow, and that will complete the 6 forms of capital, and we'll make sure we do a recap. Day 35 officially in the books. Make sure we get those takeaways. If you don't have the book, man, there's a link in the description section of the book, man. I want you guys to have this book, because even after this thing is over, this book is going to be valuable to you. Go ahead and order that book, man. When you get 1, they give you 5, so you can share with family and friends. Get your family involved. Just like I'm having this book reading now, you get your 5 books for the price of 1. You 2 can go ahead and have a book challenge with your family and friends, man. Get everybody involved. So you have went through it with me. Now you can go back and go through it with your family and friends. Go ahead and get that book, man. Make it a gift. Get started early. Get the Christmas gift going early. Grab your book, man. Click the link in the description section. I got you. Day 35 officially in the books, man. Salute.